And we're back. Man, this night's been pretty cool already, I gotta tell you. We're now getting geared up for just another really absurd WrestleMania moment. And again, I use absurd in the most awesome way possible. This match was a six-man tag, and we end up getting another trio by the end of it that makes it really just an iconic WrestleMania moment. It's the New Day versus the League of Nations, but both groups get some surprise visitors by the end of it. One member of the League of Nations was Rusev. He's going to be joining us to discuss this match, which I am super pumped for. Excuse me. And as we wait for Rusev, I just real quick want to say two things. This Dragon Ball Z inspired gear is great. Three things, because also Michael Cole makes a Vegeta reference on commentary, which I never would have thought would have been a thing, and it was. And also the bootios that you see come out of this massive giant cereal box are still scattered around our office in WWE to this day. That is a real thing. And so we're going to see if Rusev's here. And we'll go from there. No Rusev yet, but we're having fun. I have a bootio on my desk at the office, and they are as iconic a prop in our building, in any building for that matter, in the history of WWE. This match has a lot to it. There's a lot that goes into it, and then the cherry on the sundae at the end makes it pretty iconic. I don't know if anyone thought, let's set the stage. Coming into this, I think everyone was very excited for this match. The New Day had reached a certain level at this point. They had their own cereal, and the League of Nations had been their foil for several months now. But when you take into account, and we haven't talked a lot about this yet on this evening, when you take into account that this is the largest crowd in WrestleMania history, the largest crowd in WWE history, the three men that make their appearance by match's end put this in its own stratosphere as a WrestleMania moment. It's something that no one could have anticipated or expected. Xavier Woods is holding a tail that's inspired by Goku. I can't believe I'm talking about Dragon Ball Z so much on WWE's Instagram channel, but the moment literally calls for it. They're dressed like Dragon Ball Z characters. We're going to see if Rusev is in here. We're checking right now. He is, and I am bringing him on. Give us 1 second. I'm now having some technical difficulties. But Rusev, if you can hear me, I will be with you in one moment. One second here. We are having a slight technical difficulty. And it is not allowing me to let Rusev in. 1 second here. Rusev, hang on the horn. I'm very sorry about this. Okay, we're going to keep trying to get Rusev in. We will do our best with this. And, nothing yet, but okay, we'll keep trying. This match is, it really comes at an interesting time in the careers of the New Day. Again, really surging in popularity, and the League of Nations were none too pleased about that. I'll be very curious to get Rusev's thoughts. As you're seeing here, the build up to this match saw a lot of brutal attacks and assaults on both ends, but the League of Nations really went out of their way to make as many statements as possible in the lead up to it. We're going to try for Rusev again. Now, this is exciting. We did it. Thanks to everyone for bearing with me in the comments watching this. We appreciate it. Rusev.
Hey.
We did it. Hey, bud.
What's up, man?
Good to see you. Welcome aboard. Sorry for all the technical difficulties.
Of course. It's not your fault.
Them having me try to run anything technical is always a mistake. I'm excited to talk about this with you, though. The match is just starting on my feed. We might not be totally synced up, but I'm curious,
this is
Wait,
the
how am I
biggest.
supposed to watch the match?
Oh, it's on ESPN, but I can also just
Oh,
I can also just
well,
talk you
nobody
through
told
it.
me that.
Yeah. The match is literally just starting. So as you get it queued up on your TV, what do you remember about making the walk in Dallas for this WrestleMania, the largest crowd in WWE history? What was that moment like for you?
It was amazing because, it's the largest crowd. It's 101,000 people. It's unbelievable. It was just, because we know where we were going with the whole segment. It was just such a fun time.
And I'm curious, I want to, there's a lot of things to dissect about this match, but we see you guys literally kind of trash the giant cereal box on your way out to the ring. But what were your thoughts on the New Day's entrance? Did you ever think you'd be wrestling a squad that entered via giant cereal box?
I was hoping to because New Day is amazing. They've been amazing. Oh, there it is. Shame is getting beat up.
Yeah. You guys put Woods through the ringer here as we get going here in the early goings.
Yeah, we did, and I remember we had a lot of friction in our own establishment, and there was a lot of egos, and nobody wanted to do a lot of the things, and we almost got in a fight right before we went out that the curtain.
Tell us more about that. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's interesting you say that because they just showed some footage in the build up to this. You guys were things got very contentious between the league and the New Day. You guys really beat the tar out of them on a recent Raw before this. What would you say the chemistry was like overall between the League of Nations? Maybe not necessarily now because it sounds like it was kind of volatile on this night, but overall as a group, do you think the chemistry was there and for the most part?
Our group?
Yeah, I'm a journalist. I must ask these questions.
Our group, the first few days had an amazing chemistry because we were also excited to, because we know who we are. We know we're big, we're strong, we're former champions. We're going to dominate. And then after the first couple of weeks, we realized what's happening. And we just did our best, but we decided, hey, at least let's have fun. Mm-hmm. And that's what we did. We laughed, we had fun, and we just were us, a bunch of boys that like soccer and soccer celebration. Unfortunately, not many victories to celebrate, but it's okay.
Spoiler alert, though, not for you because you lived it, but a victory on this night, which I think sometimes gets overlooked, that the League of Nations did win this match.
Yes, League of Nations did win this match. Yes, we did. We did.
Yeah,
we absolutely did win this match.
Yeah,
I took the winner's bonus, the winner's purse. So.
I do think sometimes that gets winners first. That's awesome. I do think sometimes that gets overlooked. That granted, a lot happens after the match, a lot that I'm really looking forward to talking to you about. But you guys did prevail. I was just saying this with Zack Ryder a few minutes ago, but isn't this crazy that WrestleMania is on ESPN right now and that there's commercials during WrestleMania? Isn't this just wild?
I thought I was watching the network.
But
it's super cool, man. I love ESPN. I watch ESPN daily, and to see myself on ESPN, it's something that it should have been a long time ago. Is if they were picking for the Celebrity All-Star game, the NBA shot at you, but never mind. We'll come back and I'll get into it. It's not a big deal.
Make some calls.
We're
gonna make it happen. You are probably aware of this, but since we're during a commercial break and so there's not any, your action to comment on at the moment. Do you know what 5 years ago today was, Rusev? I think you probably do, but you might not. You know what 5 years ago today was?
Rusev Day?
Well, yes, that's every day. You, 5 years ago today, arrived on a tank.
Oh, boy.
5 years ago today, your one-on-one match for the United States title against John Cena at WrestleMania 31. The year before this, WrestleMania 32 in Dallas. I'm curious. I have two questions. One, I apologize if you've told the story before. How did the tank originate? When did you find out who conceived the tank? And then just general your thoughts on. I imagine you would still consider one of the biggest matches of your career at WrestleMania 31.
Oh, absolutely. It all originated in my brain, me and my wife's brain. We were just manifesting in our minds. We're like, oh, what if we have a tank, and what if we have an army and these guns and against USA, and they come up with this cool stuff. And we was all just joking about it. And then all of a sudden, I think it was a couple of days before that, they told us to go to the stadium. Yeah. Like, okay, rehearsals or whatever it is. So we get to the stadium, and all of a sudden, there it is. There's a big tank. And I was like, is this a real tank? And they're like, yeah, it's a real thing that they got from, you know, some place that they shipped it from like far away, some collector's item. And it was a legit Russian tank that I got to ride. And, you know, the day before that, I had to see where to step and where not, because I had bare feet. And if I step on somewhere that it's hot, I'm going to get burned and not be able to wrestle. But it was such an amazing, the best entrance of all time. Don't care what WWE says. Don't care what anybody. I mean, you go ahead and tell me somebody running a real tank, tank. Not fireworks of Charlotte, not something boom, and not something, not Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg sings 1,000 songs a day. Nobody cares. This is a freaking tank.
It was a real tank. It was a real thing.
The other good one, ooh, somebody get middle fingers. Ooh.
That's those neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. Yeah, these
no,
people.
they're there. I saw them. Anyways, what was I talking about is, yes, the other great entrance was Undertaker, because I was a part of it as well.
Right.
In New York, I was one of the hands. That
29. Yeah.
Yes. I was one of them. I was dressed in a morph suit, and pretty much 90% of people on the roster right now, we did that entrance with him. So
Rusev, what that means, and we were back to not live action, but WrestleMania 32, at least on my screen. That means you are part of arguably the two most iconic entrances in WrestleMania history.
Yeah, and it's all thanks to me.
Yeah, yeah. Undertaker literally could not have done it without you, is what that means.
No, yeah.
You are still firmly in control over Xavier Woods at the moment. Ooh, some really innovative offense by you there. I was just talking about this with Zach. What I find so interesting, obviously, I do not compete, but such a massive crowd, and it seems like even though these huge stadiums, the sound can sometimes be not distorted, but it arrives to you in interesting ways. It seemed like to me watching this back, I watched this yesterday as well, that it seems so electric the whole way through. Is that how it felt to you when you were in there?
Oh, absolutely. It felt electric. It felt amazing because we knew how good these guys are. And, you know, it's the grandest stage in front of the most people. I mean, there was no, even though there was frustration within our organization, we're not going to let this get away of getting a great time and just having a blast out there. And I remember after the match, just walked back and turned around and just stared at the stadium just to soak it all in, because not every day you can perform in front of so many people.
No, I mean, this is the largest crowd in WWE history. A question that I was curious about, do you guys do like rock, paper, scissors to figure out who is the League of Nations member who does not compete in this match?
No, I think Stu was hurt. Stu was hurt for the most part when Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett was hurt, I believe, and that's why he had to sit this one out. And for the most part of most of our run, I think Barrett and Del Rio were hurt, or Sheamus. So I was taking every single match, every single fall, every single thing. But because I said, okay, if you guys are hurt, I'm gonna just do it all. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and so and this is now, you know, also for you, I feel like this is only your second WrestleMania, and again, I don't want to. Granted, I assume anyone who's watching knows what's going to come here in a few minutes. But your first WrestleMania, you mix it up with John Cena. Your second WrestleMania, you mix it up with about 3 more Hall of Famers. You know, when you think about that, is that just kind of surreal that 2 WrestleManias in, you were in the ring with, just to list them, John Cena, Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, and Mick Foley? That's 4 Hall of Famers in 2 WrestleManias.
Yeah, I mean, and I've learned, the most I've learned from my career from John Cena. So, you know, everything I know is probably because of him. And, you know, besides that, all my trainers, Rikishi, Black Pearl, Gangrel, back when I started. But learning from John was amazing. And now I get to perform with 3 more Hall of Famers that I've grew up watching and idolizing. So it was a super cool moment. And as soon as I knew that Steve Austin was there, I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the stunner.
We'll get there in a minute.
I know how to take a stunner.
Yeah, I do want to. In watching this yesterday, I did make several notes about that. I do have many a question. You took it like a champ, though. Let me tell you, it was a sight to behold. I can't wait for everyone to watch it with us in here in a few minutes. As the match enters its later stages, what are your thoughts? Was this match by its design were you looking forward to the possibilities that a 6-man tag presented you guys at this stage in your group's run?
Well, our match changed a few times. Not
Oh,
the
really?
just the structure of the match what we thought we wanted to do. But you know, again, some things got in between everybody, all of us. We all got like, it doesn't matter. The match changed. We were fine. We had a blast. I hope that
This is a fun match.
It was a great match. I just hope that none of us offended the New Day because they're such a great people. I love these guys. You know, I grew up with them pretty much in WWE. So I just hope that none of us offended none of them just because of our attitude towards each other.
Yeah. And now here comes a big moment. I have a question. Now, you're on the receiving end of this, and so obviously this wasn't fun. But just generally speaking, are you horrified the way that I am every time Big E does this spear through the ropes?
Yes. Yes, because I've taken it twice. And the first time I landed, I go straight on my back. Like a lot of people do what I just did when they land on their feet.
Right.
But I take pride in my bum. So the first couple of times I've taken it against Big E, I took it straight on my back. So I'm taking a fall from the ring all the way down to my back, which
That's wild.
Which the second time I started spitting blood. There was blood started coming out of my mouth. And I was like, you know what? Maybe that's not a good idea.
I would advise against it. Yeah.
So I changed it.
But it's an awesome move, but I cringe every time I see it. It just looks like it's not a good thing for anyone involved when he goes for that.
A lot of people are scared for him because he goes, you know, top heavy and he goes down. But
yeah,
you know, he's such a strong guy. I don't think he can get hurt anymore. He's, you know, he got all his surgeries back in college with the football, Big E, but now he's like man of steel, you know.
He does seem rather indestructible.
He is.
And I think we're nearing, that's a big time stomp. You might get there in a second, excuse me. There's like, you know, again, I think this match, again, sometimes people recall what happens after it, but there's a lot of cool things in this match.
Yeah, they are. It just, you know, it's a fast-paced match. We did not have much time. You know, they only give us a certain amount of time, and it's so many of us, and we just wanted to do our best at the end of the day. We just wanted to give the best show, the best match for the people. It's not just about us. We wanted to give them all the excitements, all the cool finishes, you know, all the screen. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Shamey always wins. Shamey always wins. If there is a victory, Shamey always wins.
Sheamus is a friend of the bump. We're happy to have him on. And again, League of Nations, for everyone watching, we got over 1,000 people in here right now. The League of Nations won this match. Let's not forget who won this match. A lot of things are going to happen here in a few minutes, but the League of Nations were victorious, and I think that's important to recall.
We're just boys. We're just a bunch of boys.
4 happy lads. Man. 4 happy lads.
Yeah, 4 happy lads. Wait, show what happened after?
No, they will. I think we're getting to another commercial break. But let's talk about that for a second, though. 4 happy lads. That's like, you know, you're a big time WWE fan. This is your dream. That's your first win at WrestleMania. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I never was about winning and losing, you know, especially, you know, at that point. Just the opportunity to perform in front of these people and knowing that these 3 Hall of Famers are going to come right now and they're going to blow the roof off of this building. It just doesn't matter. They would have told me I would have lost or squashed. It didn't matter. Yeah. Because, you know, there's some things you can control, some things you can't. And there's no point of getting upset over the things that you can't control.
Yep. Real quick, by the way, I'd be remiss. This match, as you said, is so fast-paced that I haven't had a chance to mention. I'm liking the hairdo, man, or lack there. Like, you know, I'm digging it. Yeah, sorry, it shouldn't take me this long to mention it.
I went Britney, bro.
I don't even know how many people will get that reference, but I do, and it made me smile. I'm now a happy lad too. You look great. You look great.
Thanks, man.
I
used to have bald head back in FCW back in the day. Yeah. And it's hot, and I was bored, and I said, why not?
Go for it. You know, with everything going on in the world right now, I don't know when I'm going to be able to get my next haircut. I might do the same thing, just because, like, it's my only. Either I just let it grow, I'll be looking like you at WrestleMania 32, or I'll be looking like you in March of 2020. Those are the only, yeah, exactly.
You need one of these?
Oh yeah, it's under the hoodie. It's under the hoodie. It's under the hoodie. No, it looks great. It's a new look Rusev.
Thank you. My mom did it for me.
Really? That's so precious.
Yeah. I
Which
woke
is
up,
also
I was bored, and I was like, Mom, can you give me a haircut? And she said yes.
That's cool. And also, it's very similar to, I would say, one Steve Austin, who you're about to, at WrestleMania 32, see any minute now. So that's kind of a cool thing. Stone Cold Steve Rusev, in a way.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, fair enough.
But the funny thing about this is, now that when he pops up, when Steve Austin, well, okay, whatever, he's going to punch me eventually in the face, right? With that first punch, he immediately like breaks my lip. I start bleeding.
Oof.
And the second thing you know, he keeps punching me, blah, blah, blah. We get to the back. And apparently with that first punch, he tore his shoulder.
Oh, I've never heard that before.
He hit me so hard, he tore his shoulder. He had to get surgery after that.
Wow, I've never heard that.
So Rusev lip 1, Steve Austin shoulder 0.
Rusev, that's 2 wins for you in one night. Again, you're a double winner.
I take the stunner as a win too, because it's an amazing stunner.
That's an all-time moment. It is a top 10 stunner ever, I would say. All right, we're back here on my feed.
There it is.
Yeah.
Look at Barry. Look at incredible shape.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's from what you said. Obviously, he couldn't get in the ring, but yeah, he was still looking cut as all heck.
Yeah. He was eating only bananas and protein shakes. That's it.
God bless him.
Yeah, I know.
I've eaten nothing but unhealthy things during this last 2-week stretch. So are you, as this moment's about to happen, like, I'm just curious to be knowing what was going through your head as all of this is about to go down. You just won at WrestleMania. You're in front of the largest crowd you may ever compete in front of, but definitely the largest crowd that anyone has ever competed in front of at WWE. And now, at least on my screen, here comes Shawn Michaels. An underrated part about this that people don't talk about enough, Rusev. Shawn Michaels in gear.
Hello?
Hey.
Oh, sorry. There he is.
You're all good.
HBK.
Shawn
What's
Michaels
going
is
through
in
my
gear.
mind? I'll tell you what's going through my mind is I cannot wait to hear the pop when these guys come out. And I wanted to compare each one to everybody's, of course. And, of course, Steve Austin, by far, just the loudest pop. But that's what I was waiting, because I know the match is over. Now I know everything from here is just gravy. It's going to be the most fun thing I have ever done in WWE. And it sure was. Yeah.
No, this is something that really only so many people in history can say they've been in the ring with these 3 guys at a WrestleMania. You'll have that for the rest of your life. How cool is it that Shawn Michaels? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No. It's all you. It's your show.
How cool is it? No, please. I am just a dumb talk show host. How cool is it that Shawn Michaels is in gear for this?
Well, of course. Well, Foley's in gear too. Steve Austin is in a semi. If he had the short shorts, that would have been his gear.
Yeah, you're not wrong. How loud was that ovation for Austin? How was being in the ring for it? Was that just?
It's on that thing. Just blew the roof, like literally blew. Like I was speechless. I think I was turning to all the boys, like, "Oh boy, like hear that pop!" It was unbelievable. I can compare that to maybe The Rock when we were in Brooklyn that one time where he just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah. I remember that. Yep.
But it was a smaller building and everything is cramped inside. This is huge, and it was still like super loud.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That shows how loud this was, because again, the acoustics in these stadiums are so different. It's just an explosion.
And how about Shawn being ripped?
Oh yeah. Oh, Shawn is, and even today. I mean, he's he's swole, as the children say, Rusev.
He's super well. He's in a fantastic shape. Like, I have no idea why, but kudos to him.
Oh, yeah, totally. Now, all right, so on my feed, they are in the ring with you. You are literally staring down 3 Hall of Famers at WrestleMania in front of the largest crowd in WWE history. And now, just if you can, just take us through this, not play-by-play, but anything that, comes to mind during all of this would be, I think, super cool to hear.
Anything was just like, okay, when is he going to go? Because, Stu is going to get pulled out, because otherwise we're going to beat him up, because it's 4-3. But New Day jumped behind Stu. I keep calling him Stu. Barrett out. pulled him out. And all of a sudden, we turned around to see what the hell happened. And next
Yeah.
thing you know, we're getting punched in the face.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what happened when we're going to do these things? And all of a sudden, there's punches in the face. And my lip is blown up, you know, swollen. And I'm just getting stomped in the corner. And I'm as happy as I've ever been.
Yeah, I was gonna like you literally like. There's just so many things to this. You literally got a mud hole stomped in you at WrestleMania by Stone Cold, and so I'm about a few seconds ahead. So what's about to happen to you is coming up for me. I am not going to say it. I'm going to wait for you to get there. But I just saw what you've been talking about, and man, that is quite the stunner. But take us through it.
So I know my favorite stunner of all time is Scott Hall, of course. You know,
WrestleMania 18. Yep.
And I had to do it, and especially I think I saw Scott Hall, I think a day before this, or maybe it was Mania 31, and I've actually specifically asked him about the stunner bump. He told me the story that I will not share, but it was a great story, and it was just an amazing bump, and I had to take it because I want to stand out. I always want to stand out, obviously.
Yeah.
So here I am, took my stunner like a champ, and went through the ropes like The Rock did, because he's another amazing guy. So here I am, combining all kinds of my childhood heroes or whatnot.
You literally mashed up the Rock stunner and the Scott Hall stunner. Like, you know, the Scott Hall did not store out of the ring. Rusev did. That's a fact. Now, I have some questions about what we're about to see here too, because that's not the only stunner. We see a couple more stunners, including Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods takes one. What were your thoughts on? But first, before we get there, what are your thoughts on these dance moves that you see out of all three of these guys? Was this a success? Shawn Michaels twerks here in a second, Rusev.
I forgot about this part. As soon as I took my stunner, I was happy I was out. I don't remember this. What's happening?
This is exciting. You'll get to see this for the first time. Shawn Michaels is literally going to begin twerking. It might be happening for you right now.
There he is.
Yeah.
He's warming up to it.
Yeah. Mick Foley's getting his groove on. I'm not hip enough to know what this dance is called. And
this
now
is a big special.
Okay, that's cool. And now Xavier Woods is really gonna get.
You can tell that he's pushing it.
He's asking for it. You know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Like respect. You know, he's a Hall of Famer, and other two people were respecting him. All of a sudden, he just goes in his face and trying to tell him what to do. Well, no, but we all know that nobody tells Stone Cold what to do.
It's not advisable.
Yes, it's not. And you can tell that even Big E and Kofi both were like, did not do anything. Why? Because they knew that Xavier was pushing it.
It's just not smart.
If you push it, even your friends are going to be like, hey, man, you kind of asked for it.
Yeah.
And they're just going to take him out.
I think that's pretty much what happened here. Did you get to see Xavier's stunner, the stunner that he took there?
I did not, but I'm sure it's not as good as mine.
It was in the Scott Hall territory. What I like about it, he's literally trying to like grab the air as he goes on the way down.
Xavier is one of the best of all time. You know, he's so entertaining. He's such a good wrestler and overall human being that he deserves everything and anything.
Rusev, as we wrap up here, and thank you so much for your time. What do you? One last time, just take us through, summarize WrestleMania 32 for me. Like,
Why didn't you call me for WrestleMania 31?
Oh, well, that hasn't aired on ESPN, Rusev.
Oh, it hasn't?
No. They last week was WrestleMania 30. This week is WrestleMania 32. Next week's WrestleMania 35.
Is it because of me? Because I wasn't.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't work at ESPN, but I don't think so.
Well, make a call.
I only have so much say so, but I will make a call.
Okay.
All right. We'll get back to you.
Match.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it. I don't know what the rules are, but I'm very excited for the Boneyard match. But what, Rusev, just your thoughts on, what do you think back on WrestleMania 32 now, 4 years later? What do you think of? Do you think of that moment we just saw?
Oh, that moment is going to go down one of the greatest things that I have ever done in WWE. And, yeah, it was an amazing experience. It was a history-making night. So there you have it.
Fantastic. Rusev BUL on Twitter, Rusev IG on Instagram. Thank you so much for your time, man. This was super fun. We're loving the hair, and and thanks for everything. This was super fun to watch this with you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Call me for 31.
We're going to make the call, and then we're going to call you.
Gotcha.
Thanks, Rusev. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
All the best. Bye now. All right, so that was Rusev. That match is super cool. All right, so here's what we're going to do. This been a lot of fun. We are going to take a bit of a pause. We are going to be back at 9 p.m. with Charlotte Flair as we watch Charlotte Flair take on Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch for the first ever WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania 32. For everyone who's got ESPN right now, you're going to get to watch the super dope Hell in a Cell match between Shane McMahon and The Undertaker. We will be back at 9 p.m. with Charlotte Flair to talk about one of the most important women's matches in WWE history. In a lot of ways, the next evolution in the women's evolution was this match at WrestleMania 32. We will be back at 9 p.m. Keep on ESPN until then, and we'll see y'all soon. Thanks. Man, Rusev's hair was super cool. We'll see you soon.